Okay, so this is Talking Bullish, the brand new Bradford Bulls fan podcast. I'm Alan Raisin.
I'm Laura Micklefield.
And we're here to guide you through the world of Bradford Bulls for this week. So, let's get cracking. First of all, Laura, do you want to say a bit about why we've decided to start the podcast?
I've been a fan of Bradford Bulls since childhood, really. Obviously gone through the trials and tribulations as a Bulls fan, which many other Bulls fans can relate to. You're a recent fan to the sport of rugby league in general, aren't you, Alan? We converted you. And we were just talking to each other, we were saying we tend to have a lot of opinions on the game, which I think everybody does. So why not do a podcast, talk about it a bit? And we thought there isn't one specifically for Bradford Bulls, and who better to talk about it than just some fans? Obviously, a lot of the things we'll say are just maybe just our opinions on things, but it'd be nice to get, hopefully in the future, other people's input, and if people have a listen.
Yeah, sounds great. And as you say, Laura, I'd say I'm a multi-sport fan. I like football, got into American football a while ago, and there's so many other podcasts for those other sports. So, why not have a Bulls one? That's what we thought.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, Laura, you were lucky enough to go to the last Bradford Bulls match. It was, the championship fixture at Batley.
Yeah. It was a good match. Really enjoyed it. I thought brilliant team performance, to be honest. As people know, 8 different try scorers, which obviously is a good reflection of the fact that it was a good team game. Probably a couple of standout things for me. Negative wise, because I'm obviously forever the pessimist, so I'm supposed to start with that, is seemed to be a lot of just a bit of sloppy play with forward passes, and lots given for this match for some reason. Right. But I do think sometimes the referees tend to focus on one area of the game, which it tended to be forward passes. Seemed to notice them more for us than for Batley, but obviously maybe I've got my blinkers on, but we'll see what anyone else thinks about that. But generally overall, I think it was probably one of the best team performances. Probably I'd say Oldham match probably pips it. Yeah. But I really enjoyed it. I thought they were spreading the ball a lot, taking advantage of the strong spine and edges we've got, and brilliant up the middle as well. Just moments I thought for me is in the first half. Obviously everybody's been talking about it because he's been voted hitman this week as well. Is Logan Bayliss, the prop, running from 60 metres to score the try, which obviously you don't see every day. But yeah, that was brilliant. And I thought defensively, I think probably I noticed Hooley a couple of try saving tackles. If we didn't have that defence at the back, I think we'd have let far more in than we did. It was great, really enjoyable. To be fair, not too bad with refereeing for once. I know obviously everybody has strong opinions on referees, and I definitely want to be one. But yeah, I thought it was a good. It was kind of fair all round. Just one probably controversial point, which was if anybody watched the match or watched the highlights, you'll see there's it looked to be a tackle in the air on Guy Armitage behind the dead ball line. It was given as a goal line dropout rather than a penalty. But it was something we were talking about in the crowd, because I went with my dad and my nephew, and we were kind of sat down with a few Batley fans. And they we were just a bit baffled as to why that wouldn't be a penalty, but they tend to think it's because the ball bounced before it got to him. So if it bounced and then he jumped for it, they're saying that isn't a penalty, whereas I've not known that before. It's not a rule I'm aware of. It's a matter of if you're in the air and you're off the ground and somebody tackles you, it's dangerous. But so it'd be interesting to know what people think of that, because I thought obviously myself it should be a penalty, but speaking to some of the Batley fans, that was kind of their justification as to why they didn't think it was.
Okay, so you say at half-time it was 32-6 to the Bulls, so a dominant first half performance, and then you say it just continued in the second half. Yeah, brilliant. Like I say, all different try scorers, which is always a sign of a well-oiled team that's working well together. So we had tries from Gill, G, Bayliss and Michael and Suter. I were really pleased for Michael, because I think
obviously it's the first try of the season, so I think he was really happy about that one, and I know the fans were, because his new chant was getting sung quite a lot, which obviously is not to be repeated on any sort of podcast, but obviously it was a good atmosphere, and I think he seemed to really enjoy that. But no, I think it was a good flowing game, really enjoyable. Obviously posted plenty of points, really good team effort, really. So especially the moment of the second half is that you towards the end of the match were plenty of points up, and they're still driving to tackle well and push Batley back into the in-goal area and get that goal line drop out.
Cool, yeah. And so that takes us into next week, which is the 1895 Cup. We'll talk about that in a bit. But let's talk about the news that's happened this week, because I think there's a fair bit been going on.
I suppose one of the things is we found out that Poposhy is going to get a 2-match ban for the Massimo Tongo injury at the Sheffield game. I can't obviously comment too much. I've not seen much of the footage myself, but obviously judging by what was said by Brian Noble after he reviewed it and the response after the match, it seems like it genuinely was just a head clash. So to me, I'm just baffled that you'd get a 2-match ban and a sin binning for a head clash. Not it's just accidental, but we've seen similar things happen in Super League this week as well. Last week it'd have been, but it's I think a lot of people have got opinions on things like this, and sometimes there's, I don't know.
I guess when you're down that long, we were there, and he was on the floor for a long time, wasn't he? So I guess maybe they just felt that they had to do something punitive to... I totally get that, and I think like the sin binning, fair enough. I suppose if you've not got the luxury in Championship Rugby of a replay, so you have to go with what you've seen there on the field, and if you believe obviously there's been foul play, the sin bin, that's fair enough. I think it's that obviously the bans are, the panel reviews it and then hands a ban out afterwards, and obviously, like I say, I might be totally wrong because I've not actually seen the footage myself. We saw it live and didn't see anything untoward. I think you'd agree, but obviously they reviewed it and decided it's a 2-match ban. I just feel a bit sorry for him because he's been on the outskirts of stuff. He's kind of got a chance, and then then he's headed into obviously just before the 1895 Cup semi-final with a 2-match ban. So well, we look forward to having him back in a couple of matches. Also this week, the shock departure of Franklin Pele. What's happened there?
Controversial one. Judging by the statement given by the Bulls, it sounds like he's gone and got himself a deal elsewhere without speaking to the club. Obviously, I suppose you've got to go by what the Bulls say, and I'm sure he'll have his version of events, but I doubt probably we'll hear them. But I think the kind of opinion of most fans is, if you don't want to play for Bradford, don't play for Bradford.
No, it's a shame though, because he was a great player, wasn't he? So,
it's definitely a shame. I think it will definitely be a big miss. It's just obviously the conversation of whether you feel like we need someone to replace him or just to be with the team that we currently have. I mean, obviously there's always been talks of Doro. He came back for a couple of games, and obviously he's a fan favourite and performed really well, but he has featured for Hull KR since then, so whether it's even an option to get him back, I'm not sure. But then, do we need him? I mean, we've had obviously last week's match shows that we didn't really miss him, so what do you think?
Well, with a scoreline like that, it's hard to say that he's a big missing piece, I suppose. And with Hull KR flying high, it's hard to make the argument that he should be here rather than there, I suppose.
Exactly. I suppose it depends on what squads they put out to whether he's available. But even when he's not playing, he tends to be 18th man a lot. So probably don't see that happening again. But obviously, that's just my opinion. Could be wrong. Be brilliant if it did. But otherwise, I know that they said in the previews and such that they'll look for somebody if they feel that there's somebody who's good enough. But otherwise, we've got a depth in the squad this year. to not have to go out in the loan market. So obviously that's much better. But sometimes, obviously, the loans do help. I suppose Hooley, for example, which leads good into the next bit of news with the extension of Hooley's contract till the end of the year. So.
I've not seen that, actually. Just fill us in.
Yeah, so the Hooley was on loan from Castleford, as most people know, for I think it was was it either a 2-week loan or a 4-week loan, and that's been now extended for the season. So he'll be with us till the end of the season. I'm not sure what that means for Tom Holmes, because I know obviously he's been out with, I think it was a pectoral injury. Expected, I think, to be back at some point. I don't think it was season ending as far as I'm aware. But obviously, with Hooley playing so well, it's going to be a headache, I suppose, once he's fit. But it's better to have the headaches than not, I suppose.
Yeah, nice problem to have, as they say.
Yeah, but yeah, so that was probably the other big news this week. So I suppose for the sad news of losing Franklin Pele, we had the good news of the Hooley extension. So.
Hopefully good things on the horizon. Okay, and then so moving on to Sunday, we're both very excited to be going to York.
Yes.
It should be a good away match. Hopefully a big crowd.
Yeah, should be. I know, Bradford always take a large away following anyway, but I think York is a place where we do tend to fill out the stand, and the fact that one, it's always a good match against York, and then secondly, obviously, it's a semi-final with Wembley on the line. So it's obviously, if you're a long-standing Bulls fan listening to this, it's never an easy thing to be a Bulls fan. So to have something to actually think that there might be a celebration at the end of it would be absolutely brilliant. So I'm really looking forward to it. Quite nervous, but at the same time, we'll see what happens, because like those matches can go either way, as I think anyone who's watched any previous York and Bradford matches in the past will know. But yeah, it should be a brilliant game. Really looking forward to it. Just hope we don't have too many. I know we've got a few injuries now, but hope we don't have any more injuries from last week. Hope it's both two strong squads out and a really good high quality match.
Right, yeah, so just looking back to last year, obviously we got to the semi-finals again last year, lost to Wakefield. I was there with that one, so hopefully this time we can do one better.
Yeah, I think it was unlucky last year. I mean, I think this is a point that people make a lot as well, that when you've got full-time teams in the Championship, it's always going to be it's going to be a big task to overcome that. So I think the fact that we kind of drew that semi-final against Wakefield was unlucky, really. Otherwise, I think if we'd maybe got the other side of the tree, so to speak, we might have ended up at the final with Wakefield. Just my opinion again, obviously. I'm sure a lot of other fans from other teams would disagree. But yeah,
we don't represent the other teams, so that's fine.
No, that's fine. But yeah, it's I think it's more of an evenly matched match this time. I do think that York probably wouldn't say that. I suppose they always say that we've spent a bit more this year and all that sort of stuff talked about, but I don't know. I don't know how much has been spent on squads and such like that. I know that obviously they have a good fan base as well, and they have the squad builder as well. So I'm guessing, two strong teams that are going to be out.
Yeah, and again, just looking at last year, they fell away at the semi-final stage as well. So I think both be looking to improve on last year. So definitely a big match to come. Yeah,
definitely. And like I said, getting to Wembley, it's not something you'd think you'd be saying as a Bulls fan in the last few years, especially. But hopefully, I know obviously it's not the Challenge Cup, but we've been there, done that, I suppose. So maybe it's just another one to add to the cabinet. Yeah, I suppose it's a thing to think about what kind of squad they'd put out. So my thoughts are probably the people who played against Batley would deserve the first shots.
No one needs resting, would you say?
No, I mean, to be fair, I think we've got too many injuries anyway, that we're at the point where we're kind of using the people we need. And I think the people that don't usually get first team spots and were on the peripherals were performed brilliantly. Like, for example, like you see, if you think of Logan Bayliss, he was put out on loan a couple of weeks ago for Doro to come in. And then obviously he's got hitman and a fantastic try this time, and I think his brilliant carries throughout the match. So I think I would go with the same squad. I mean, it depends on who's available, who's not, but I definitely don't think there's going to be any Sker or Tafua. I think they're still injured. The one thing that would be interesting is with Keys, because I know that obviously they said he'd had a broken finger, but I don't know how long he'd be out. So if he's actually available for next week, I wouldn't know how that would go. I would personally stick with probably Meadows and Lily because it's been working, but then again, what is the best halfback combination? I don't think we yet know, because we've not had all three fit and consistently kind of playing away. I know we've had Lily at hooker quite a bit, but I do personally prefer him in the halves and think that's why he plays better. So be interesting if Keys is fit to see what decision is made there. Yeah, and I'm not sure about Lawrence or Donaldson. Not sure how long those injuries are, but if they're fit as well, that's probably going to cause a headache as well, because with Lawrence being captain, you don't often leave your captain out if they're available. But with the props performing how they did against Batley, do you leave him out?
So, good problem to have, I suppose.
Yeah. that's what I mean. It's a good. It's nice to be in a position where we're having these problems of who to pick, even when we've got so many injuries. Like last season, just using loads of lone players, loads of people in and out, never really getting consistency. To actually think that you've still got a bit of who's going to be in this squad this week when you've still got injuries is definitely a better place to be. But I'm I suppose
Bulls can always mess it up.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying. I'm like the queen of pessimism, so that's quite an optimistic view for me. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, we're just saying it's a 6-win streak now with 3 losses. But in fairness, it was against Salford, Super League team. I know they're going through the struggles, but still. The one against Toulouse, I think they kind of just switched off, but obviously everyone knows Toulouse away is a tough one after flying over to France, and the fact that they are still a full-time squad. So if you think about it, 3 losses, 2 full-timers, and then the loss against Barrow, I just think it was just a kind of off day, and you're going to have them.
So I was just thinking, I reckon I've been to more away games this season than home games. Have we just front-loaded all the away games, or is it just how it's fallen, or is it just in my imagination that...
It might be. To be fair, I think it seems more spread out this year, to be fair, than other years. And the fact that there's a lot more Friday matches, because that's the thing. I think they said that there were fan feedback about the Friday matches. I would be like... interested to know where that came from, or if there are any fans that do have that opinion that it's better to have it on a Friday. I mean, personally, I don't mind the Friday matches. I quite like them, but I can imagine for people who maybe got young children or things such as that, it might not be the best for like late kick-off on Friday nights. But I don't know where that feedback was from. I mean, I've been a season ticket holder for years now, and I know that I wasn't like asked or consulted, or so I'm not really sure where that feedback came from. But for me personally, I don't mind them. But it does feel like there's kind of been gaps. But I think sometimes it's to do with the fact that we've had in between, if you think there's the Challenge Cup matches in between, and there's an 1895 Cup in between, and obviously if you draw away for any of those, you do tend to get obviously more away matches. And I think it's probably more that we've been to more away matches this season. It's kind of usual that we'll go obviously to all the home matches, but not to many away matches, in honesty, just for cost more than anything, if I'm honest. But this year I've managed to get to quite a few away matches, and I think that's why, like, you've joined us, Alan, haven't you, for a few of the away matches getting...
Yeah, I mean, it's quite nice. They're quite local for us, isn't it? So not too far to travel. It's not like having to go down to London all the time.
Yeah, that's true. Batley's even closer for us, for where we live anyway. So
Hunslet as well.
Hunslet
nice
was, yeah, that was close. Because I'm one of the supporters that's not based in Bradford. I know there is quite a lot of Bradford fan base that aren't actually based in Bradford, and we're both Bradford Bull supporters and not in Bradford, but obviously passionate about it and wanting to talk about our team. Let's hope for the win on Sunday. Like I say, I'm always pessimistic, so my predictions would be close match, but York might just pip it.
That's all we've got time for then. So thanks very much for listening this week, and make sure you catch up with us next week after the York match, when obviously we'll be on our way to Wembley. We'll be really celebrating that, and we can look forward to the Widnes game as well. Join us next week. Thank you very much, and thank
you.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.